10 people vote to convict. You know the defendant is innocent, and you know exactly what's going to happen to you if you disagree. This isn't a philosophy exercise. It isn't a hypothetical scenario to debate in a classroom. It's a situation that happens in real jury rooms with real people every week. And the question isn't whether you would do the right thing. The question is what you would actually do, with the real weight of 10 pairs of eyes on you, with the real cost of being the only different voice in a room that has already decided. 3 levels. Each one tightens a different screw. And if you're honest with what appears at each one, you're going to understand something about yourself you'd prefer not to have a name. Level 1. You're a juror in a criminal trial. The defendant is charged with a serious crime. Days of testimony and evidence have passed. Now it's time to deliberate. The jury room is closed, just the 11 of you. The judge waits outside. 10 people vote guilty, you are the 11th. And you know he's innocent, not a feeling, not a suspicion. You know, because during the trial you noticed a detail no one else caught, a small, technical detail everyone else missed, but that for you was unambiguous. The defendant's alibi is real, he wasn't there, but 10 people are looking at you now. 10 people who have spent days in this room, who want to go home, who have already decided, and you are the only thing standing between them and the end of all this. What do? Don't tell me what you should do. Tell me what you would feel in the exact moment 10 pairs of eyes waited for your answer. If your first impulse was to give in, maybe you could be wrong. Maybe the detail wasn't as definitive as it seemed. Maybe 10 people together see better than one person alone. You found a way out of being the problem. Hold on to that. If your first impulse was to hold firm but with your stomach tight, you would vote not guilty but at real cost, knowing that room was going to get heavy, that you would be questioned, pressured, treated as an obstacle. The conviction was there. The comfort was not. Hold on to that too. If your first impulse was cold clarity with no hesitation, innocent is innocent and you don't move an inch, regardless of how many people disagree. Hold on to that. Don't dismiss what appeared. It's going to matter more than you think by the end. Level 2. Same room, same situation. But now you know more. After 2 hours of deliberation, one of the other jurors pulls you aside, quietly, and tells you that if the trial doesn't end today, if you deadlock the decision and force a new jury, the consequences go beyond this room. This case has public attention, press coverage. Whoever votes against the majority will have their name exposed, will be identified, will receive pressure online. It has happened before in similar cases. It's not a direct threat. It's information. But you understand exactly what's being said. You're still the only different vote. The defendant is still innocent. And now the cost of disagreeing has an address. It has consequences for your life outside this room, for people who depend on you and have nothing to do with this trial. What do you do now? The truth hasn't changed. The defendant didn't become less innocent between level 1 and this moment, but the weight on the other side has become more concrete, more personal, more real than any abstract principle of justice you carry under normal conditions. If you felt your vote beginning to loosen, not from conviction, from exhaustion, from the quiet realization that maybe an innocent person in prison is a cost the world absorbs better than the cost you would have to pay personally, hold on to that. If you felt anger, not at giving in, but at the whole situation, at the pressure, at being here, at being placed in this position without asking for it. And in the anger, a determination that was once a principle has become something more personal. Hold on to that. If you felt the weight but didn't feel your vote move, not from calculated heroism, from a kind of internal impossibility of doing otherwise, as if giving in were physically impossible regardless of the cost, hold on to that. Level 3. Same room. But the variables have shifted again, and this time there is no position that doesn't cost something you cannot give back. 8 hours of deliberation. The room is tense, silent, exhausted. You're still the only different vote. And now, one of the jurors tells you something no one knew until this moment. The defendant has a 7-year-old daughter. If he is convicted, she goes into state care because her mother died 2 years ago and there are no relatives. A 7-year-old child who will grow up in the system because of a crime her father didn't commit. And then the same juror tells you the other half. If you give in now and vote guilty, he personally guarantees he will start a review process. He has contacts, resources, real capacity to reopen the case in 6 months with new evidence. The defendant could get out, the daughter could have her father back, maybe with less total damage than if the trial deadlocks and drags on for another year. Or you hold your vote. The trial deadlocks. Everything starts again. Another year. More exposure for you. More time without her father for her. And no guarantee the final result will be any different. There is no clean way out here. If you give in, you convict an innocent person trusting a promise made by someone you met 8 days ago in a closed room. If you hold firm, you protect a principal while a 7-year-old girl starts tonight without her father because of a decision you could have made differently. What do you notice when you reach this point? You notice that in the first 2 levels you still had structure. In the first, the clarity of right and wrong as an anchor. In the second, the sharpness of the pressure, knowing what was being sacrificed and why. They were hard, but they had shape. Here, there is no shape. There's just you in a chair in a closed room with a decision that is going to affect at least 2 lives in ways you cannot fully predict. And no option that leaves you on the right side of anything. And what you choose in that moment doesn't say whether you're brave or cowardly. It says something more specific and far harder to name. Which cost you can carry and which one you leave for someone else to pay without having explicitly chosen to do that. Because someone is going to pay. In any scenario, someone pays. The question isn't who should pay. It's who you let pay when the decision is yours, time has run out, and there's no longer any way to pretend it isn't you who is choosing. And the gap between who you believe yourself to be in a comfortable room with time to think and freedom to defend principles without real cost, and who you are in a jury chair at 8 in the evening with 10 pairs of eyes on you and a 7-year-old girl at stake, that gap is your actual character. Not the version you present. The version that acts when presenting is no longer an option. You might not have liked what you found here, most people don't. But the fact that you made it to the 3rd level without looking away says some part of you already knew you needed to sit with this. And wanting to sit with it, even when what you find has no clean solution, even when the mirror shows neither a hero nor a villain but something much harder to classify, that's the only thing that separates someone who truly examines their own mind from someone who prefers to believe, comfortably, that they already know what they would do. You knew. Now you know better.